I'm Topher, and I welcome you to Fat 50 and Running a Marathon, a channel dedicated to health, fitness, and goal achievement. This is the third video in a three-part series regarding self-sabotaging behavior. The focus of this video will be fear of success. So there's not a lot of scientific-backed research regarding fear of success, although I did find some new terms which I think if you're not familiar with the term fear of success, maybe some of these terms are more familiar to you. Success phobia, success anxiety, and there's even a new one called achieve me phobia. But since there's no scientific, or I couldn't find any scientific backed research, I'm going to use my own operational definition for fear of success. Fear of success ultimately is being within a few steps of achieving a goal and for whatever reason hindering yourself so that you do not achieve said goal. Now, as I said, I didn't find a whole lot of scientific backed research, so I kind of have to personalize this. I also will be drawing from experiences that I've seen with other people, and more often than not, those experiences that I saw in other people, I saw in myself too. A lot of fear of success, at least for me, is the fear ultimately of change. And it's the fear of what do I do once I achieve that success. See, failure is very familiar, and we know how to deal with failure. Whether it's you crawl into bed and you eat ice cream, whether you watch sad movies, whether you pull out the photo album that makes you even more depressed, whatever it is, we know how to deal with failure. But we're not really taught, and we don't really know, a lot of us, how to deal with success. Success also has certain consequences, like once you achieve a certain level of success, now you're expected to maintain it. That can be very difficult too. I myself have dealt with my weight my entire life, and I can say with absolute certainty, despite having a lot of difficulties that were not my fault, a lot of the difficulties that were presented to me were self-imposed. For example, I have decided that I want to refrain from eating except for the hours of noon to 8 p.m. Sometimes I'll find myself at 9 p.m. or even later, not only eating, but eating sugary foods, junk foods, foods that I know are not good to me. I've stuck these foods in my mouth and said to myself mentally, why are you doing this? You're not even hungry. And here you are eating these foods that you know go against your eating plan and are destructive to your health. And yet I still do them. And yet I still look down at my stomach and see it there and think to myself, this is just compounding the situation. And yet I still eat the food. And I believe ultimately that my self-sabotaging behavior is because of fear of success. There's a lot of symptoms of fear of success. Anxiety, guilt, discomfort, pressure, and most importantly, I think, impostor syndrome. If you're not familiar with impostor syndrome, it's whereby somebody achieves a certain level of success and then they don't feel that they're worthy of it. They feel like they're a fish out of water almost. And I think that a lot of us kind of feel this. I think that a lot of us fear change. I think for the most part, all of us fear change to at least some degree. And I think that it's that fear of change that ultimately leads to a fear of success. As I said, success has a whole new set of standards by which to go. If you've been failing your whole life, and most of us have a series of failures and successes, but if you look back and you see more failures than successes, or you have a tendency to dwell upon your failures more than successes, it's easy to say to yourself, this is who I am. I'm someone who fails. That, I think, ultimately leads to the imposter syndrome because you've stuck it in your head that you're someone who fails and therefore are a failure. Therefore, as a success, you're in a place that you have no business being. Again, this is internalizing, and this is what I've seen from my own previous experiences. But I think that a lot of us, particularly those of us who have those goals that we've had our whole life that we still just can't seem to be achieving, still can't seem to be going after, it's that fear of success. It's that fear of change, and that wondering, what am I going to do once I get there? Am I going to be able to stay there? Will this success, in fact, cause me to lose other things? I think that's another thing that a lot of us fear, is that by achieving this success, we're going to lose these things over here that we had when we were not as successful. But what you really have to, I think the only thing we can really do, at least the only insight that I can offer to you, is to look for fear of success in your own life, acknowledge it, and then try to find the root cause. And the root cause is going to be different for all of us. It could be childhood trauma. It could be previous negative experiences. It could be avoidance of backlash. As I said, maybe you're afraid of what will happen if you do succeed and you're not exactly certain. You know, there's a phrase that people use, the devil that you know. And I think that's ultimately what a fear of success is. It's embracing the devil you know rather than the devil that you don't know. And success, let's face it, isn't really a devil. Yes, success has consequences and costs just like anything else, but it's not really a devil. And you have to ask yourself too, and I think this is a very important, is the success what you really wanted, or are you getting in your own way? That's a difficulty in trying to assess too. If the success is something you've been told that you want, or whether it's something that you really want, and now you're stopping yourself from getting it. Now, as I said, we're not going to solve the fear of success or self-sabotaging behavior in this video or these 3 videos. The point of these videos and the point of this channel is to get an open discussion going. If fear of success and self-sabotaging behavior are something you personally have experienced in your life, let's talk about it, and particularly if you've overcome it, or if you've done a really good job of at least acknowledging that you have it and what it took you in order to understand that you do experience it. Let's hear your personal stories down below in the comments. It's only by talking these things out and talking to each other that we're going to be able to accomplish our goals, such as overcoming the fear of success and self-sabotaging behavior. Remember, only by taking care of ourselves first are we capable of taking care of others. I thank you for watching. Topher.